now, after everything what I've took off, what I've done in the yard, because I couldn't talk in the yard because the neighbours look at us funny, I'm gonna get the engine out, but I'm gonna take the clutch case off. That's the hydraulic clutch, but you don't need to touch that because the hydraulic clutch fluid's in there. Just take these out. And I've done a Husky Boy before. I'm sure these are different lengths, so we'll just keep an eye on the length of them bolts. Anyway, we'll get that clutch casing off now, and then we'll get the engine out. That's the bolts all slack now. Take them off. Good thing about making videos, you can look back and see which bolts which, but they are different lengths. Got that one. Got a shorter one. Got that one, which is the same length as that one. Got this top one, which is slightly shorter than the bottom one. So we'll just put them back in there. And I've got this one, which is bigger than that one. Bigger than that one. So all them bolts are different. So at least if you're watching this, you can remember. Because I know I'll remember, so I can just take them all out, put them in a tub. Just re-watch my video. Right, we'll get this off. Clutch. I'm sure one of the sides was leaking at the beginning of this video when I edited it. In the yard, might have been the clutch side, but that does look like it's a bit damaged there. But anyway, we'll get that later. I'm going to wrap this up. Just put it there on the top of the pipe out the way. Just have a cable tied up there like that, so it's out the way. Now we'll get the swinging arm bolt out. The front engine mount bolt. The bottom engine mount bolt as well. And we'll lift the engine out. So we'll start getting the engine out now. Just watch this clutch pusher doesn't pop out while you're clarting on. Can just take it out, actually put it to one side. And if you do watch my videos, just a tip, all the bolts you take out of everywhere, like a subframe. I think this was off the tank. These nuts. Oil pump, the oil drain nuts back in. Water pump drain nuts back in. All the radiator nuts are back in. Just when you're stripping them, put the bolts back in, then you're not left with loads of bolts in the end. Like at the minute I've only got them 5 bolts. And they're just them bolts out of that casing. So I've got the 2 front engine mount bolts out from up here. There's 2. Them bolts are just the same. Just the ones over there, I can't reach it. I can't get the swinging arm out, so I'm going to have to leave the engine in for the night because it's too late to bang. This side had that on. It's got them clean threads. The other side's got that in. On the other side of the swinging arm. The threads are different on the other side. So I'm going to have to tap that out tomorrow anyway. And I'm going to take the clutch off now. Left the chain on. Because I haven't got the, well, I've got a tool. I've got 2 clutch holding tools. That end too long to fit into there. You need the proper Ktm one. In my oven, them bits are too fat. So put a bar through there, through your back sprocket, and onto the top of your swinging arm. Put something to protect it on each side. And you've got your nut. It's coming off anti-clockwise. Put the bike into gear. As you turn this, this will push down. I'll get the clutch basket off. The clutch needs to snap now. That's the nut. And clutch will just slide off. And one. Just always check behind the clutch basket for washers. There's 2 bearings in these ones. There's the collar as well. There's the collar. Just slides in the back of there like that. So that's the clutch. I don't need to take that apart. Now the clutch is off, took the kickstart off. This casing round here, all these bolts. I've got this chart here, so I know which position to put the bolts when they come out of. So this one from the water pump will be this, which is a long one. Put that into there, just like that, and just go all the way around and do it. That's the bolts all out now. I've got them all in there, so I know which way to go. I'll take the kickstart off. Kickstart, I've got that's come off. I don't know if that's the right one or not. Just take the kickstart off. And then this case will just pull off. Always keep pushed on your kickstart shaft. As you're pulling this case off, just see your kickstart shaft doesn't all come off and pop out while you're pulling this off. That's that. And that dropped out of there where the seal is for the kickstart. So I have to have a look at the part diagrams because I know that was in that way on that one. And there's one on the other side. I'll see if they're supposed to be there. Always check these teeth. That casing's all good, so that's good. Let's put that back. Them 2 would come off the kickstart back into the kickstart shaft for the time being. Now I'm going to get the crank nut off. So I'll put the clutch basket back on. I'm going to put a penny in there because a penny is softer metal than these, so it won't damage them. Don't wedge screwdrivers or anything in there. You'll snap your teeth. Anyway, I'll get this off. The crank nut's slack. The penny's dropped in there, just remember to get it out. You've got the crank nut and a fin washer. Keep the clutch basket back. So that's the crank nut. That's the little washer. That's the little washer. So we'll just keep that with the crank nut. And you can pull this off the end of the crank. That's it off. No washers behind it. It's the Woodruff keyhole, but I think there is a little washer on them in there. So we'll put that to one side. We'll get the kickstart idler cog off next as well, and then the kickstart shaft off. Just pop that spring out of there. Spring goes in that little hole. All kickstarts and only got this spring what swings round and goes into there. It should just pop off. It has. Let's see a drop. Little washer there. So there's the kickstart shaft. That spring there. That spring's attached to this bit. And that washer what dropped out just sits in there like that. And there's the black bit on the front. With the groove in. What keeps that part of the spring into the little, if you can see it, and the little hole there at the back, would just beside it there, but it's just about to slot into. So now we'll take the stator casing off. Just still can't get the engine out because it's late and kind of bang that swinging arm. I'll show you the swinging arm from this side, the swinging arm bolt from this side. I mean, front sprocket guard off as well. I've just put the two balls back in the holes. It's that one and that one. That was a three. Get these three off. And all these are all the same size. Just pop them in there for the time being. So they don't get lost. See there, the con rod just jammed with the crankshaft. So we're going to get the flywheel off now. Just got the penny again. Because I'm not near the camera, I'm just trying to get it. Got the penny again anyway. So I've put the clutch basket and the drive at the top, what I put the penny in before. To lock the crankshaft nut on the other side of the crank. This is the nut on the other side of the crank on this side. So to lock this, I'm going to put the penny in that again. Because some people to lock this, they put, if you can see it on the camera, they put something through your crank to keep this still. And when you loosen that off, it's putting pressure on your big end bearing. It's best to do it this way. So we just put a penny in. That penny seems to have nipped, so hopefully it should come. Just make sure it's on video. That's it, that's a good way of getting it off. That's it off. I'll have to get the puller. You can see the threads in the inside of the flywheel here. Get the puller in a minute. But this is how I've locked it. You put a penny in there. I've just put the clutch, like I said before, I put the clutch back on and that drive back on. The penny in there. And then it locks the flywheel, so you can get the flywheel off. Like I say, seen loads of people, nearly everybody, they put something through there with two planks of wood here to keep the con rod. I'll take that penny out there so it moves, to keep the con rod from turning. But when they're keeping that still, to take these nuts off this side and this side, these nuts are on dead tight, so it's putting loads of pressure on your big end bearing down there. I'll take the flywheel off now. Got to take the puller. You've got that puller there. On the bigger side there. This is the big side. When you screw it in, it doesn't screw in clockwise. It screws in anti-clockwise. So screw the front bit in anti-clockwise. But it's tight. Flywheel off. Dusty in there. I don't know where the dust, let's have a look where the muck's been getting in from. It's a mess in there. I'll look for any timing marks on this stator plate. Just going to take it out so I won't get the timing wrong when I put it back in. If it's timing. See, like sometimes they'll have like a notch like that, and then up here there'll be an arrow on this bit of the casing, and that's got to line up with a notch or something like that. So let's make sure first. Will be a proper way to fit it. If you look at them three nuts there, you can see that if you slacken them, the stator will turn. The back plate will, the stator plate will turn, so it'll turn all this front stator as well. So a little key in there for the flywheel. That's what I was meaning about the swinging arm. That side's got this. I'll just put that nut in there. And that side's got this. Big cleaner bolts. Like a big cleaner bolt. It had a bigger bolt on the end, like a different style bolt. Get the chain off tomorrow. Bang the swinging arm bolt out, because it's 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning now, but it was too late when I started it to bang the swinging arm bolt out. I would have had the engine out already, but you can see this, everything's off ready. Just need the chain off. I think just said that, front sprocket, stator, reed block, and then the engine will split, and we'll have a look at the crank, see what's caused it to do that, and see if there's any loose stuff in the bottom, or if the bearings collapsed or anything. So now it's the next day. I've just banged the swinging arm bolt because it's not late now, and it's popped straight through from that side. I don't know if you can see it here on the camera because I'm on a different angle, because it's only going to take a couple of minutes for what I've got to do. So I'm going to take the stator off. It's just these three 8mm bolts. It's a good thing about this little bike. All the bolts are the same size. You're not having to keep picking up different wrenches and different spanners and putting in different nuts and different size nuts. And yeah, we'll just get these three off here. This last one off here, and we'll just take the stator out, and we'll cable tie the stator up here as well. See if I'm plugging it all up here and taking all these cable ties off, and just pull it out and lift it up on here. That's all. It's the three bolts out. They're all the same size, so it doesn't matter which hole they go back in, but we'll put them back in the holes when we take the stator off. There's the stator. Gentle with it. See if we can get it up there out the way. That's it. Stator there. Looks like the crank seal's been gone. Look at all the mud on the back of it. And that's the way it sits as well. The crank seal's been gone, and just chucking muck down there on all the mud. We'll have a closer look at the. Put something on that to protect it for the time being. Just keep it on there. Just when we'll have a look at this crank seal. So that'll need changed as well anyway, which getting changed anyway, because I'm rebuilding the bottom end. You always change these crank seals, but
That must have been leaking. Right, we'll put 3 bolts back into the holes, take the chain off, bang the swing arm through. You can see I've banged it a bit from the other side and it's come much further out because I couldn't bang last night, as I said. So anyway, chain off, that out. I'll go and get something now to tape that up, wrap it up in this bubble wrap as well. And then we'll slip the engine out and split it. So that's the stator off, wrapped up in that bubble wrap. I'm going to bang the chains off as well. I'm going to bang the swinging arm out from the other side, and then the engine will lift out now. Greasing this swinging arm up, swinging arm ball up when we put it back in because it's pretty rusty. It's kind of hard to get out. That's the swinging arm bolt out at last. I couldn't do that last night. I wanted to, because it would have made stuff much easier. There's the swinging arm bolt. Now just lift the engine out. That's it. So that's the engine out. Can take the gear stick off and the front sprocket. Got a little bush as well. Keep the gear stick off. Very tight. Got them on. Just have a look at them because I don't know if they're the right ones. Gear stick. Nothing else behind it apart from this, the seal. And I'll just pull that front sprocket seal out just to see if there's any little washers or anything behind it. Seal. That's what I use for getting seals out. It's a puller for pulling exhaust springs on the motocross bikes, but it's good for getting into seals. Anyway, this is just what I took it off for, just to see what's there, and what's there's the rubber ring. Take the O-ring out as well. There's the O-ring. I'll put that up there. The other bits. Now we'll take the reed block off. Reading that. Screws are the same size, so we can get them muddled up. I've got these race reeds, so that's the Ozzo Racing, the carbon fibre ones. There's got a little bit of a gap in that one.
See the gaps? Like I'm looking at the left side one now. This one here and this one here. See the gap on the pedal? You can see if you look through there. See the gap at the bottom right corner? You see the light coming through there. Shouldn't be a gap there. You see a light come through there as well on the left side. You can't really see it up the top, but there's a gap on the top ones as well. Yeah, you can see how they lifted a touch. Anyway, I'll take them off and clean them anyway. Now we'll loosen all these case bolts, making sure that we've got the right one to go wherever it goes on the way, on the rebuild when I put it back together. So I'll probably be making one of them cardboard templates, because like they say, they're all different lengths, all these. I don't want to get them muddled up on the way back in, so I'll go and get a bit of cardboard. So I've done the template now. Got the bolt here with the pointers. There's 4 in here and there's 1 here. There's them 4. That one up here, which is this one here. There's one hidden down there, if you can see it, which is that one there. So anyway, I'm going to rip all them out and put them in here in the right order. So that's all the case bolts out. And that's how I've got them. See, some's longer than another. Saves the job at the end. Now we're finished on this side, so we'll spin this round. Start getting to work on this side now. Take the gear tension off first. Just always check them for straightness down there. Check this ball, make sure it's round and not flat. Keep that flat. It's got a little bush in there, I think, as well. Anyway, we'll just put that on one side. Get the front of the selector drum off. Put them on very tight. There's a selector drum bolt. That's safe. Get this off for the gear stick to push out. That's all it is, just a retaining plate. It's just to keep this spring from popping off. Keep that to one side. We'll put the nut back in there for the time being. Gear shaft should just pop out now. There's a washer in there. Don't forget that. So that washer goes onto there. Gear change mechanism. It's all springing and working, all the springs working in there. So that's all good. Take the Kickstart idler shaft off. Idler shaft cover off, I should say. So we'll just all alright. We'll put that there with the circlip out the way. Drum should just That's not very tight. There's the end of the selector drum. It fits into there. I could put that bolt back in there now actually. Just for the time being. And there's neutral on your gears. See, that one's rounded. That's how you work on them. See, that round thing fits in neutral. All the others have got points on, and that goes round. That goes round to that one. Sits in neutral like that. And without the point, take them two out. Now just for the kickstart, the stopper with a plate on the back. If I had Loctite on, so if you Loctite them on the back when I put them back on. And that's everything now. Just one last check. And that's where the oil was leaking from, that part of the gasket. When you see the rebuild, I'll show a better way to put gaskets on. Because some people just put the gasket on, push the casing on, then just push the bolts through, hoping that the bolts are going to go through every hole in the gasket. But the gasket moves, so it's best to leave a gap. When you push your casing on, leave a gap of about that much. So you can see your bolt going through your casing, through your gasket, then into these holes here, all the way around before you tighten the casing on. Then you're not going to have a gasket like this, what's been nipped and offline. It's all thin and everything. I'll have to take it off anyway, so it doesn't matter about ripping it. Anyway, I'll leave all that till later. I'll get that off properly. So we're going to get the crank splitter, as I've just said. I just had to show that little bit about the gaskets. It's a crank splitter on. Got low malt as well, because we might have to tap that as we're going. See there, it's opening at the front. Oh, it's opens at the front more. Picture. Just taking this up. Just make sure it's all coming off evenly, which it is. Off. Just take these out of here. And there's inside the casing. It's all looking good up here. There's a sump bolt what I put back in. I don't know if they're magnetised, some of them are. It seems to have bits of metal on still, but anyway, I was going to take that out anyway when I clean all this stuff out. I don't know if that's metal or mud. Not sure. Anyway, look at this end. See if this is all good on this side. So you're not going to get no gearbox oil leaking into there. So that's good. Always check them on bikes. Anyway, we're looking for bits of shaving. There's none. There's a bit damage there where something's come off and scratched around. A bit of metal on my fingers. Yeah, it's a bit of aluminium. I think it's been cleaned out. And then a new piston put in. That big end bearing will need changing. That's gone.
take the gearbox out probably. We'll get the crank out. That's what we want to see. Might just push out, might need the tool on. I'll get the woodruff key out. And it will just tap out because it doesn't matter about using the tool on this, because the main bearings need changing anyway, so I can just bang it through with the rubber mallet. So get that little woodruff key out of there. So now we'll just get this woodruff key out of the crank on this side, and just the crank should just tap through. And that's the little woodruff key out of this side of the crank. So now should just pull through, even if I don't have to put the tool on to push it through, because the main bearings need changed anyway. So if it's slack I can bang it through, but it should just pull through. It is, it's just straight through. So washing the O-ring in there. Got that washer, and that O-ring goes on there. And you've got that washer there that goes on after it. That woodruff key just fits back in there. I'll just put it in like that. It was a tight fit getting it out, but it doesn't matter. But there's the crank. With the bearing through the gap. There's the con rod, just see it moves. It gets tight when it gets to there, but it's slack there. So, oof, look at that. And it's all loosened up now. Look at the movement. So that's been banging like anything, so that's why the piston, wherever it's at, that's why the piston's got marks on the outside of it. Around there. Because there's this, the piston fits on there. For whoever people who's watching this don't know much about bikes, the piston fits on there and only goes to a certain height. If this main bearing's broke, which it is, look how much further up it's moving. So it's moving up, what, 3, 4, 5 mil. So when that's moving up, the piston's been moving up and hitting the head, because it's a dome piston. See, the dome hasn't been hitting the head, but that's been hitting the outside of the head, because that main bearing's been gone. So we'll take the head off. First we're going to take the power valve out, the power valve bleed as well. Your diaphragm in here as well. These are just 6mm bolts, these three. So lift these off, and we're going to get a spanner under there, lift that up, and that's the power valve lifting up. Get a spanner under there, I think it's a 6, to grip underneath there, that nut, so we can take that nut off, then we'll take the head off. That's the power valve pushed up, so I can get the 6mm spanner in, onto the shaft in there, so I can take that nut off there. Just lift the diaphragm off. That's it, just pulls off. And there's, I'm glad I did open that. That bolt's off. The bolt was out of that hole there, so that little metal copper washer out. So that's the one that was just lying there. There's the diaphragm. Always check them for splits and stuff. Get an Allen key. That
pulled, that's longer than the one. Just lift that off, there'll be a spring underneath. There's a spring. Just put that back on. Let's see if that's a copper washer in that side, like what was lying about, and it is. There's a copper washer there. There's the bit you grip if you're ever doing one. You lift it up, just get your 6mm over there and keep it tight. You'll see when I take the head off, this pole valve blade slides up. It's a big square thing there. What goes up onto this shaft. Get the head off now. Taking that one off, and that one, and that one in a diagonal pattern. I'm just going to check that, because when I wiped that before, just with these threads being aluminium like that, there's no damage on that thread, so the threads look alright. Seems to be tightening in alright. It's alright. I was just thought that I thought it was stripped there. I put thread lock on it when I put it back in anyway. I'll have a look. I'll have a closer look when it's off. Now we'll rip the head off. Spring. There's the inside of the head. Knock the torch off. See the little dots. That's where, there's the piston, and there's the head. That's where the head's been hitting. It would been a dome piston. It hasn't been hitting there, because that's because that bit of the head's chambered upwards. But it's been hitting on the outside because of the big end bearing breaking and making the piston move further up and hit the head, because it shouldn't be moving up further. Slide the power valve up now. That's the power valve. Just make sure you don't lose the spring. I'll put the little nut back on top of there shortly. Just check all that's all alright. Already checked at the beginning up the exhaust and it was springing smoothly, so I know it's alright. I'll go and put a little bolt on there. So there's the barrel. Two little metal stoppers. I'll just go and make sure there were little metal stoppers in the head. So it needs a metal. So it needs a little one of these aluminium pins as well. So it needs one of them, it's one of them missing for that side. Anyway, that's the bore. Bore's all good inside, there's no marks or nothing. There, look, I've just looked at the exhaust there. From here, and I can see where my finger is. Don't know what that is. Just a bit of black bit of carbon.
no debris in it or nothing. So the barrel's alright, that's the main thing. Nice tight fit as well. Anyway, that's that and that. I don't know whether to get this, leave that how it is and just get a new piston. Have a look at the gearbox. Try and keep it in actually, so I don't have to take it out. Should be another little spring like that for that one somewhere. Oh, there it is. That spring, that just sits in there. I don't know if I've just showed this main bearing. This one's knackered as well. Listen to that. I'll have a check in there as well. I'll just get a bit of tissue. Tissue's clean. A few tiny little flakes of metal in the oil there where I've just rubbed it out, but there's no damage. No damage on here, the main thing. Well, all of it actually, but I always check for this bit. Some more gearbox oil from the gearbox here can leak into your crank. Got that. It's alright, that's good. So that's the Ktm teardown video part 1. And there was the problem. Big end seizure or failure or whatever. But there's no bits inside. When it come, it was jammed like that. And when it's like that, look, I'm pulling up and down on this, it won't move. Either hasn't shattered, because they normally do, shattered, come up, smash the piston and everything. This is what it's like when you push them and they're not, you get them pushed by somebody and they push too tight. No, the conrod doesn't move. I don't want myself until I started sending them to Jim Bailey. He's the man that does them. He has them back in a day. Let's see, I could try and turn that round. Oh, it's tight. See, it gets the slack to there. So it's the only place it's slack, and you can see the up and down play. Like when the crank's in the bike and that was like that, you couldn't feel up and down play. They're only in that position. Now that it's out, it's that position, you can actually see the play, and look how far it's moving. Good half a centimetre. And just before I'm going to edit all the video to YouTube, I pushed the fairing out crank on me press for the KTM. I've just been to the shop and I've just rested it on there. I haven't touched it yet, it's just collapsed a bit, but I'm going to have a first look at it now. Try and keep it all together. Here's the rod. It's been hot. The bearing cage there melted onto the conrod. And there's the other shim stuck on that side of the crank. That's the pin I pushed out. but that shame is just, I don't know how that's wedged on there. That's bent in as if, like I said earlier in the video, it's as if a crank had been pushed together too tight. I don't know what's caused that. It's been pushed tight anyway, but that's the bearing case. Where's the bearings at? Over the top where it's melted. Unless the bearings are still in, but there's no shavings in the barrel or nothing. Anyway, that's what the problem was. Right, thanks for watching.